Good afternoon, everyone. It is just after 12 o'clock here on Thursday, March 14th, and welcome into the early portion of today's video weather discussion, where we are going to have an update on the severe weather activity that we have been seeing across the state, and then the next round that's going to be developing this afternoon and continuing into tonight across portions of the state. So, on the screen right now is the radar loop from overnight last night through this morning all the way up till current time. And it gives you an idea of what we ended up seeing across the state overnight last night and into this morning. And you could see we did have a very large complex of rain and thunderstorms traverse much of northern and central Illinois overnight last night and into this morning. And some of that activity was severe across portions of west central Illinois down to just north of the St. Louis metro area. Surprisingly, we actually did have a couple of tornado warnings that were issued for parts of western and southwestern Illinois very early this morning. But all in all, we did see that activity move through, which was expected. Some of it was severe, which was also expected. And now that activity has shifted quickly eastward into Indiana and now pushing into Ohio as well. And as I stop the radar here, you're going to notice, well, if it'll cooperate here, as I stop the radar here, if it'll stop, it doesn't appear that it wants to stop. It's not cooperating here. There we go. As we stop the radar here, you'll notice that things have cleared out across the state of Illinois here as we've gone into the later morning and now into the middle of the day today. And that is allowing for some sun to peek out across portions of the state, some destabilization to occur as the main storm system and the main cold front begins to approach out of the Missouri region. So with that said, let's just take a quick look here of some of the severe weather reports from overnight last night and into this morning. We did have some severe thunderstorms last evening in the St. Louis area, also up along I-70. Those storms produced some fairly big hail in those areas. And then overnight last night, the severe activity shifted slightly northward overnight last night and into this morning. So you could see the scattering of these little green and blue dots here across much of the central portion of the state, pretty much from St. Louis and I-70 northward up towards as far north as the Macomb, Peoria, near the Kankakee areas as well. All these green and blue dots represent those reports of large hail and damaging winds from last evening, overnight last night, and into this morning. So what we're expecting to have happen for the remainder of today is this activity, as I mentioned, is now moving into Ohio and Indiana from overnight last night and into this morning. And what we're expecting to see happen is we are going to see redevelopment of another round of showers, thunderstorms with severe weather potential. This development is going to occur across Missouri, up into parts of central and southern Illinois. And by the time we get to deeper later this afternoon, you can see we're going to be dealing with scattered severe thunderstorms, most likely from Indiana back through parts of east central, southern Illinois, and back down into Missouri as well. This is what we're expecting things to look like as we head deeper into this afternoon and eventually into this evening. And then overnight tonight, you can see that activity continues even down across the far southern tip of Illinois before it finally moves out as we move into very early Friday morning. Let's just get one more look at one of our different weather forecast models here that we follow. This is another short-term high-resolution model. You'll see it doing a pretty good job of showing that complex moving across Indiana and Ohio currently. And this is what it's going to look like here as we move into the afternoon. You can see this arc of shower thunderstorm development, most of these likely severe thunderstorms. These develop along the cold front in western Illinois down into Missouri, and kind of a cold fronty, warm front situation in central Illinois up into central Indiana. And then you can see as we go into the evening here, this model kind of kills everything off a little bit here. But we're not really expecting that to happen. This activity should traverse and push eastward across a good chunk of east central and southern Illinois deeper into tonight and even into very, very early Friday morning. By the time this comes to an end, it should be prior to sunrise Friday morning across parts of southern Illinois. So with that said, flipping over here to our updated severe weather risk forecast for today. You can see we have upgraded the severe weather threat across central and southern Illinois. We are now expecting a level 3 severe thunderstorm risk this afternoon into tonight across much of central and southern Illinois. And that is due to the fact we're expecting greater coverage and greater potential, in other words, for severe weather across central and southern Illinois for this afternoon and into tonight. All modes of severe weather will be possible, but without a doubt, large hail is going to be the greatest threat. Large hail is going to be the biggest threat today into tonight with this severe weather activity, and there could be some instances of very large hail. Environmental conditions are favorable that we might see some very large hail in some of these storms, and what I mean by that is hail 2 inches or greater in diameter. So hail is definitely the biggest threat with this severe weather coming in for this afternoon into tonight. Secondary risk will be damaging winds, and then the third risk could be the chance for an isolated tornado or so to occur with some of this activity. But like I said, without a doubt, the biggest threat today into tonight with this activity is going to be the large hail, followed by a secondary risk of damaging winds. So as you can see here, severe weather threat is going to be fairly widespread with scattered severe thunderstorm activity expected across central and southern Illinois. And once again, that's going to be from this afternoon all the way through this evening, through tonight. And then if you're down across the far southern tip of Illinois, that threat may even linger into very, very early Friday morning down there near the Paducah area. So, with that said here, let's jump into our video chat, see if we can get to a couple of comments and questions here. Aaron checking in from northern Illinois. Yes, northern Illinois may pick up a couple of showers, rain showers, maybe an isolated thunderstorm, but the severe weather risk most definitely will be south of northern Illinois today. That's going to be more focused of central and southern Illinois. All right here, don't see many other questions to get to at this point in time. So just a brief recap of what we've discussed here. Once again, we did have a big complex of rain and thunderstorms and some severe thunderstorms that did traverse a good chunk of northern central Illinois overnight last night and into this morning. As I mentioned, some of those storms were on the severe side, especially more so this morning down across central Illinois. That activity has now cleared out. You can see right here, much of the state is now cleared out here as we've gone into the middle of today. Now that stuff from last evening and overnight last night did produce severe weather and into this morning. All these little dots on the map here represent reports of damaging winds and hail that occurred last evening, overnight last night, and into this morning. Now, as we go forward here, keeping the severe weather risk forecast on the screen, once again, severe weather expected across much of central and southern Illinois for this afternoon into tonight. You can see we have increased severe weather probabilities up to a level 2 to level 3 severe weather risk across central and southern Illinois. Once again, that's for this afternoon into tonight. We are expecting scattered severe thunderstorms to be quite likely. The biggest threat is going to be large hail, secondary risk of damaging winds, and wouldn't rule out maybe an isolated tornado threat as well. But without a doubt, large hail is going to be the biggest threat with these severe thunderstorms that are going to be occurring this afternoon and tonight across these areas. But like I said before, the severe weather threat will come to an end very late tonight or very early Friday morning, and then things quiet down as we head into the weekend. They are going to be cooler temperatures coming in for the weekend, but the weather activity is going to be quieting down, it looks like. All right, here, a couple more comments and questions. See, Shania checking in from down in Lawrence County. Yes, you'll have a severe weather threat. It's going to be this afternoon and into this evening. John checking in from Peoria. Any risk for severe weather? Yes, you will have a risk briefly during this afternoon, but the best chance very well may stay off to your southeast as it shows up here on the severe weather risk forecast. Brian checking in from up in Grundy County. The main severe weather risk should be to your south, but can't rule out a very isolated, brief chance this afternoon. But all in all, that threat should stay to your south for the most part. Jill checking in from Carbondale, camping out there. Yeah, the weather's been nice for camping, fairly mild, but yes, you're going to be dealing with that severe weather risk. It could be a pretty solid risk down there as we head into this afternoon and this evening. Deanna checking in from Jefferson County. Timing is going to be pretty much from this afternoon into this evening into tonight down there across southern portions of the state. I know that's a very wide time frame, but that is indeed kind of the time frame that we are watching for things here. All right here, continuing on here. Sherry checking in from up in northwestern Illinois, Joe Davies County, getting some rain and dropping temperatures up in that area. Yeah, no threat of severe weather up there across that part of northwestern Illinois today, but most definitely you're going to be getting some rain showers and some cooling temperatures with time as well. Roy checking in from the Hoopston area. Your severe weather threat is going to be generally this afternoon into earlier portions of this evening. Anna checking in from the Midway area. Maybe a couple showers, isolated thunderstorms, but no severe weather threat up across that area today. Matt checking in from Livingston County. Yes, you'll have a severe weather threat as it looks this afternoon for a time. Felix checking in from McLean County. Your threat is going to be this afternoon. Brandy and Fulton County. Your threat is going to be briefly this afternoon, but a very good chance the main severe weather threat stays to your southeast. Tracy in Plainfield checking in. You might get some showers, maybe an isolated thunderstorm today, but no severe weather. Myra up in Cook County. Doesn't look like you'll have a severe weather risk as well. All of you folks tuning in here, anytime you're asking for your specific county, definitely check out our forecast map because it is going to give you pretty much the information that you need with that. All right, here, continuing on, Tasha checking in from Wood River. That's not far from the St. Louis area. You are pretty much smack dab in the middle of the severe weather risks down there today in the St. Louis area for you. Definitely going to most likely see a severe weather risk this afternoon into this evening down across that area. Mike checking in from Tazewell County. Very brief chance of severe weather this afternoon, but for the most part, it's going to be down to the south. Tiffany wondering where you could see this severe weather forecast. It is actually posted on our social media pages and also on our website. Anytime you want to see these forecast graphics, they are always going to be on social media and on our website as well in our forecast posts, just in case you want to blow it up a little bit so you could zoom in. So with that said, we'll go ahead and wrap up this discussion for right now. Like I said, we are watching the severe weather risk across much of central, especially east and central Illinois, down into southern Illinois for this afternoon. Through tonight, we are expecting scattered severe thunderstorms to develop and traverse these areas. Biggest threat is going to be large hail, secondary risk of damaging winds, and can't rule out an isolated tornado threat as well. See, AJ is also camping down there in southern Illinois. Yes, unfortunately, you'll be dealing with that severe weather risk as well, but hopefully all goes well and stays calm in those areas. So with that said, we will monitor the situation throughout the day today and into tonight. We will provide updates as needed, whether they're live updates or updates posted to social media, so definitely be on the lookout for that. Angela checking in from southwestern suburbs of the Chicago area around Aurora. Any chance of hail? Really, the threat for thunderstorms, let alone severe weather up there, is pretty much very low. Could see some rain showers up there, but thunderstorm chance is very isolated at this point in time. All right here, so with that said, we'll wrap this up for now. Thank you all for tuning in, and we will provide updates as needed throughout the day today.